July 10th, 2020. Mama and chicks out for some scratch time. Growing quickly. Happy little cheepers. Look at that blonde one is getting a little, the cute little hair, or the cute little tuft that some of them get. Some of the hens of the Icelandics get a nice little tuft on their head, like a hairdo. So cute. And we potentially could get a thunderstorm here, which would be good, because we were supposed to get rain all day yesterday, and if we got a quarter inch, it'd be a lot. Even if we get a quick thunderstorm here, I'm going to have to irrigate the new planting of sweet corn. Mama's in dust bath mode. Quick shot of the beehives. Lots of nice activity. Good traffic in and out. I was thinking about inspecting these today, opening them up, and then I looked at the radar and I saw we could get hammered with a thunderstorm, and I don't want to get all set up and get a hive open and then have a thunderstorm coming on me. Well, what can I say? Good call. It's starting to rain. So tomorrow's supposed to be a lower chance of that, so I think we'll do an inspection tomorrow, and we'll see how we're filling these honey supers up. Ian Stepler was just saying on his blog, his colonies which are thriving, which I would say are probably about comparable to this colony here, are filling about a box a week. So I would guess that they're probably into the second box down pretty solid and possibly headed for the top box soon. And the other thing I want to do is get back in the bottom box here on the Swarm 1 hive and have a look at that brood and colony and see how they're expanding. They were taking off nice the last I was in there, but I want to see what their progress looks like. And we'll take a look at the top bar hive quick. of bees coming in from the field. Over a bee a second coming back. Oh wow, look at the bearding on that. Oh, that nectar smells wonderful too. Well, this colony is really thriving. I guess that's all I really have to say. Alright, that's the honeybees update. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. On the chicken tractor, since I couldn't get the chickens to behave and stay inside the fenced area when I'd open up for them, I finally decided to put the chicken tractor back in mobile action. These poor birds have been sitting on bare ground for a few weeks now. And that is not the intent of the chicken tractor. They're supposed to be moving every day, grazing, pooping, and doing their part on the farm. So I finally put it back in mobile mode. They were immediately happier to have some greens under them, and something to peck and scratch at. And you can see after a few weeks of being there, that ground is just bare. But there's lots of manure and feathers and biology there now, and that will benefit the two hops plants tremendously over time. There's one there and one there. I guess we'll have a look at the corn blocks quick here. Starting to sprinkle a bit. Might get some rain, that would be nice. This corn is taken right off immediately. As this was germinating, well, just as the shoots were coming up, I had a foliar feed, an 18-day foliar feed due on the other two plantings, and since I was loading the foliar feed rig up anyway, I thought I would come back and do a foliar on these as they're emerging, keeping in mind that the most impact you can have on a plant's health and yield and vitality is the earliest critical points of influence. The earlier you affect that plant's nutritional and biological environment in the life cycle, the more potential yield effect you gain from that. Having done that, I have to say these are looking really good already, and they're just up. I think they germinated 2 days ago, maybe 3. But that's encouraging. And let's see, Thursday night I planted, which I think it was the 9th, I planted incredible sweet corn in the upper half of this block, and down to that reflector there, and then in the lower half is Silver Queen sweet corn. Incredible sweet corn is 83 days to maturity, and Silver Queen is 92. And according to my date calculations, that'll put us early and middle October. I think October 7th was the official date I calculated for Silver Queen. That's including 4 or 5 days for germination time. I find later in the season, because we have less hours of sunlight, those metrics tend to be a little on the short side, and things tend to take a little bit longer actually. So I'm thinking that's probably going to be more around October 15th. That's 5 days before our official last frost date for October, and I'm hoping to pull off a nice harvest for the fall, for someone for freezing or eating or whatever. But anyway, I have to come back and do a foliar drenching here. I did not put a drench down yet. I probably will do that tonight, either, well, probably after the thunderstorms here. Now, checking back on our first two plantings of sweet corn, the lower one is bodacious, the upper one is incredible. Those are F1 hybrids. They're doing really well. They had their 9 and their 18-day foliar feeds, drenches and preps at planting, etc., etc. I have to come back and do some weeding in between these, or well, right in the corn row, obviously, and then I'm going to sow down some buckwheat and drill that in with the tiller. That'll give us one more knockout on weeds between the rows, and then form a dense cover crop to help prevent weeds from coming out, and at the same time build soil and release nutrients, especially manganese, zinc, copper, boron, those traces that are so critical and so hard sometimes to get released and going in soils, but they have such a huge effect on plant health, and ultimately they help drive higher photosynthetic rates, which helps drive more carbon into the soil and better plant health and better yield. I guess I'll just show, I went back after these popped up and planted some sunflowers that have been working for a number of years in my nutritional programs. These are from a breeder friend in Oklahoma, and these get huge, big, beautiful flowers, lots of seeds. So those are up now at the ends of the rows. Put them on the north ends of the rows so that the big, tall sunflowers don't block the sunlight to the corn. We never want to interfere with our own crop if we can help it. Here's one that's up and really thriving. But anyway, they're doing well. 1 or 2 didn't come up. I'll go back and reseed where they didn't. But they're doing well. My first planting of squash did not germinate very well in here. I did find a couple the other night when I was out here looking around. So there's a few up, but that's alright. When we go back and knock these weeds out again, I'll come back and sow another round of squash in here. Let's see if I can find one. Here you go. Here's one. And here's one. There's a volunteer sunflower. Yeah, so very few squash came up, but that's okay, we'll re-sow. I think some of that might have been those pretty dry conditions. Anyway, that's sort of an update on the sweet corn, and just going to carry on and keep doing what we do. And I think it's about to start raining, so I think I'm going to call this for the video for now. I hope you found this interesting or informative. If you have questions or comments, please do so down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network.